All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott, formerly of Rankin Technical College. And as part of my YouTube channel, as you can see on the screen, JPS-Jeff Teaches Programming, and in particular from the YouTube playlist, Jeff Teaches Programming-Python, I've been doing just that. I've created about 35 videos so far, introducing people to the Python programming language. And the last several of these have been on object-oriented programming. And I'm going to do a couple more. And what I did was I created a folder called, under Python OOP, that's called OOP Bank. You can see I've got 101, no inheritance, and there's nothing in there. And another one that's 02, inheritance, and there's nothing in there. So I'm going to start to create this right now. And I'm just going to come in here very quickly and create 3 files. Of course, I could do this. I don't have to do it here, but I'm going to make a main.py. I'm going to make an account.py. And I'm going to make a bank.py. All right, so with all that, I'm now going to come in and I'm going to open the no inheritance folder in VS Code. And as you know right now, there's nothing in there except 3 empty files. So let's start with main. All right, we don't have to do this. We could start with anything we wanted to, but this is just the way I have been doing most of these. So I thought, what the heck, I would just continue along kind of the same path here. All right, so some of this is going to result in me getting errors because I'm going to reference things that have not yet been created. So I'm going to start by doing an import of bank, and I'm going to call it BA. Okay, and now I'm going to put in main. Now at the very bottom of main, because you've seen this before, this whole thing will be, I don't know, about 60 lines or so. I want to say if underscore underscore name underscore underscore equal underscore underscore main underscore underscore. If that's the case, we want to call main. Okay, now I'm getting an error in here because I don't have any guts, so to speak, in there. So let's do that right now. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to come in here and say bank equals BA.bank. And again, I might get errors with some of this stuff, or in the better case, it'll just be gray like it is right now. All right. Now I'm going to set up a menu. So I will set up the program menu. And I'm going to have 7 print statements. So trying to make my life a little bit easier. There they are. All right, and I'm going to start with, this is just going to say OOP banking system menu. Okay, and these are the 6 things that I'm going to be able to do. Number 1, create a new bank account. Number 2, deposit into an existing bank account. Number 3, withdraw from an existing bank account. All right, number 4, query a single existing bank account. Oops. 5, display all existing bank accounts. And finally, 6, which will just be our normal program termination. Okay, so that's it right now. All right, now I don't have any idea if I tried running it right now, if I commented out this and I commented out that, it might come out and show me this, but it's no biggie one way or the other. All right, but I have to make a choice here, right? So choice equals input. Please enter a 1 through 6 now. All right, and the rest of this routine in here is going to be putting in 1 to 6. So I'm going to say here if choice equal 1. All right, and I'm going to copy this. And don't worry about the errors. We're going to get them fixed in just a minute. All right, if it's a 1, well, remember up here that was create a new bank account. All right, so if that's a 1, what do I want to do if it's a 1? Okay. Well, I'm going to need an account number. And when I first did this, I was just going to have like the owner of the account, but I just decided to change it to first name and last name. And since this is so similar, make that last name. Okay. All right. The other thing I want to put in here is a beginning balance. I'm just going to call it balance. Now, that'll go in as a string, so I want to convert it to a float. Okay. So I've done all that. What's left? All right, well, I want to create the bank account. And to create that, it's going to need those 4 pieces of information. So it's going to need an account number, a first name, a last name, and a balance. Okay? All right, so that's if you put in a 1 to create a new account. We're asking you for an account number, a first name, a last name, a balance, and then we'll create it. All right? Well, otherwise, so again, this will be elif. It's 2. Let's make all these elifs. Okay, so elif choice equal 2. Well, what did we say up above here? That is going to be deposit into existing bank account. Okay, so what do we want to do here? Well, we need an account number again, because we need to know what account we're going to be putting that into. So we need to enter account number. And we'll tell it to get an account based on that account number. If there is an account, so if there is a number with that account, and deposit that amount. Okay, that should make sense. All right. Now, if it's a 3, we want to withdraw from existing bank account. So again, first thing we're going to need to do is get an account number. All right. And if it exists, just like we did up above, it'll look pretty familiar when we get all the way done with it. So if there was an account, just copy these. We could have copied the whole thing, to be honest with you. All right. Enter the amount to withdraw and account.withdraw. All right. So that's the 1, 2, and 3. All right. Then number 4 was query a single account. And as long as I've got it here, I'm just going to put this in here as well, because number 5 is to query all existing bank accounts. And finally, number 6 will be exit the program. Okay, well, let's fix these. So if it's a 5, oops, what? Somehow I lost. That should be 4. This should be 5. And this should be 6. There we go. All right. So if it's a 4, meaning we want to query an existing account, hey, guess what? First thing we need to do here, what do you think? How about copying all this in and say again, enter an account number, get that account. If the account was there, we'll just print that account out. Print account. Otherwise, well, account does not exist. Sorry, account does not exist. Okay, so that's 4. Now we're up to 5. Let's do 6 real quick. I know I'm doing it out of order, but I'm just going to say print here. And we'll say normal program termination. Goodbye. And we'll exit. Okay, so that's done. Now let's fix number 5 here. Now, we don't have to query, we want everything. So, tell it to display all accounts. So let's quickly take a look at this. All right, again, some of this hasn't been written yet, and I get that. But we're going to come in here and instantiate a new bank object. All right, then we're setting up the menu, right there. Okay. Have user make a choice. All right. If it's a 1, we're going to create a new account. So we need all the information. We need the account number. We need their first name. We need their last name. And we need their initial balance. Then based on all that information, we call the create account method from the bank class. And we pass in the account number, the first name, the last name, and the balance. Okay. Otherwise, if it's a 2, that means deposit. So again, we need an account number here. And then we get that account number. If it existed, we enter the amount to deposit, and we call the deposit. For 3, we do almost the same thing, but rather than adding to the account, we're removing from the account. So we get an account number. We call get account. If it exists, we say enter the amount to withdraw. All right, and we do the withdrawal. All right, so that's 1, 2, and 3. So if it's a 4, we ask for an account number, and we get that account. If it exists, we print it out. If it doesn't, say, sorry, that account does not exist. If it's a 5, we're getting all accounts. So we're just going to display all accounts. And if it's a 6, we're going to exit. Now, what if it's not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? You can put an else in here that just says print invalid choice. Please try again. Okay. And I'm going to add in here some \n's because I think it'll print nicer if we do that. So everywhere I've got a print statement in here. Just the beginning ones. All right. And even though technically I don't need any F strings in here, I'm going to put some in right now. All right, it says we got 10 of them. That'll be the first one. Again, I don't need to do this, but okay, it looks like I had one of them in there already, so now I've got 2 Fs, which is going to cause me some problems. There. Okay, so that is my main. Now I can do either of the other ones next. It really does not matter, except when you think about it, I mean, what is, for lack of better words, kind of more important? And that would be bank. All right, so let's go to bank next. So I'm going to do a file save right there. Save, come over to here, and I'm going to bring up bank. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import account. Oops, good gravy. Import account as ACCT. All right, it'll make more sense in a bit. So this is my class bank. I've got the equivalent of my constructor, which is def underscore underscore init underscore underscore, which is going to require self. And I'm going to create basically a data structure to hold these. Self.accounts equals like that. Okay. All right. Now I need create account, get account, and display account. So Of course, I'm getting those errors because I don't have the colons on the end, and I don't have anything written there yet, so we'll fix that right now. Okay, so to create an account. All right, if the account number, check to see if account number currently exists. If it does, print out an error message. So if account number is in self.accounts, all right, if that's the case, print sorry, that account number already exists. Okay? Otherwise, it doesn't exist. So, account equals acct.account. Again, we'll need an account number, a first name, a last name, and a balance. You can notice I'm getting a lot of errors here. I should have written the account one first, but that's okay. Self.accounts account number equal account. So we're going to add that to our accounts. Print account successfully created for, we'll put the person's name. All right, so it was me, account successfully created for Jeff Scott, as an example. All right, that's it for that one. Now let's call get account. Let's put in that code. This is just going to return self.accounts.get account number. It's just going to return that account number. That's return. All right, and don't worry, like I said, I think these errors are going to go away in a bit. And for the display account, oh, wait a minute. Create account needs, that needs self. Create account needs self. It needs account number. It needs first name. Notice how those errors are now going away. It needs last name, which I misspelled below. And it needs balance. There. All right. Get account needs self, and it needs an account number. All right. And finally, to display the account, if there are accounts, we need self in here. That wasn't good. All right. So if there are some, for account in self.accounts.values, print account. Otherwise, there are no accounts. So else print no accounts currently exist. Print no, what did I do here? Oh, no accounts currently exist. And when you look, no, there are no errors in here. So if we look at this quickly, this is our bank class. We need to access the account class, which we're going to create momentarily. Not a very big class, so it won't take real long. All right, this is our constructor. All right, so what are we doing here? We're creating a new account. If the number already exists, we print out an error message. Otherwise, create new account using this account number. All right, when we get the account, we just want to return the account based off of the account number inputted, and that is if it exists. All right. Finally, again, this should display all accounts. All right. So now that's done. So the only one that's left in here is account. So let's do that one right now. And we'll need class account. And to be honest with you, it's going to look very similar to this one. No, it's not. It's going to look similar to this. All right, so we're going to say def underscore init underscore. We need to pass in self and all that other good stuff. Oops, guess we already had self. All right, and balance, of course, was misspelled. Still is. There you go. And we're going to say self.account number equals account number. And you'll notice how the gray in that thing will go away. Self.first name equal first name. Self.last name equals last name. And finally, self.balance equals balance. Okay. I want to look at one thing in here where we read in the okay. All right, let's keep going. All right, so we've got that. That again is going to be the equivalent of our constructor. All right, now we need a deposit method. The order in which we put these, of course, doesn't matter. All right, here's something, you must input a positive amount for deposit. Okay, and in just a couple minutes, I'm just going to put this down here. You're going to have to also put a positive number in there for not just for depositing, but for withdrawing. And don't worry, that error will go away in a second. All right. Okay, so this is our deposit method. So if the amount, which we better pass in, and we did, if that amount is greater than 0, self.balance plus equals amount. So we want to add amount to existing balance. All right, print deposited and we'll put the amount that they deposited into account number all right, and when I first did this, I put what I'm about to show you on the same line, but I'm going to put it on another line. So print your updated balance is all right. So there's that. And let's put an else in here. Else, let's do a print. And let's come in here, make that an F string. Did I miss any other prints? No, I did not. So, and we'll put a \n in there as well. There we go. Otherwise, deposit amount must be positive. All right. Next, I'm going to grab this whole deposit, the whole thing, copy it to the clipboard, paste it in, because my withdrawal is very similar. We don't need that anymore. I'll get rid of that. Okay, you must input a positive amount for withdrawing. All right, so if it's greater than 0, I don't want to immediately do this. What if I have $1,000 in my account and I try to withdraw $5,000? Okay, well, what do I mean? I'm going to come in here and make a variable that's called temp amount, and I'm going to set it equal to 0.00. Okay, so if it's greater than 0, what I'm going to do is, before I do this, I'm going to say temp amount. In fact, that temp amount, I don't want it to be 0. I want it to be my balance. So temp amount minus equal amount. If temp amount is greater than 0, all right, if it's greater than 0, then I mean it was a valid transaction. So I can say self.balance. I don't have to do this again. I can just say equal temp amount and I'll put in here withdrew, and this said with deposited into that account, and this should say withdrew from that account and your updated balance. All right. Otherwise, if this temp amount right here is not greater than 0, I want to put that here. All right, if that's the case, I'm just going to print insufficient funds for this withdrawal. Okay? Otherwise, withdrawal amount must be positive. So we're doing very similar things. All right? So what's left? Well, I want to override the STR method. All right, very simple def underscore underscore str underscore underscore with a self, and this is what we want to return. So we want to return, and we'll make this an F string, account number, and we'll put in here self dot account number, and let's just do this. We'll put a comma in here and double quote. Oops, what the hell I did there, I don't know. All right, return F self dot account number, let's just keep going on the next line now. F name self dot first name with a space self dot last name. Oops. All right, last line, believe it or not, F balance that is wrong. This should be a double quote. And we'll fix that in just a moment here. So this will be balance self dot balance and in the paren. That should be everything. All right, now it doesn't like something here. Might want a space here, I don't know. Nope. So what is it not like here? Says it was not closed. Well, it was closed right there. For some reason, it's not recognizing. See if I put that in, see how that changes. So well, I mean, I can put all this together on the same line. It's going to look like poop, but like that. And that should have oh, I thought that would have fixed this mistake here. Account number, self.account number. Let's just get rid of this. name. Oh, I don't need that. Might be what's screwing it up, but let's see. Balance. Okay, let's see if that fixed it. All right, so in here, my last one, this is the account class. All right, when I initialize it, so when I create an account object, it expects an account number, a first name, a last name, and a balance. All right, and I'm passing those in to the current object. Then I've got a deposit. I check to make sure my deposit was greater than 0. If it's not, I say deposit amount must be positive. Otherwise, I go and add it to my balance, and I show I deposited in the amount into the account with the account number and what the updated balance is. Okay, which I updated right there. So that was a deposit. This one must be a withdrawal. All right, and in here, notice I've got this temp amount equals self balance. It says you must input a positive number for withdrawing. That's true. Also, you cannot withdraw more money than you have in your account. Okay? Trying to be consistent here with my caseness, so I guess I should do this. All right. If the amount that you attempt to withdraw is greater than 0, you attempt to do the withdrawal. All right, so what are we doing here? We're saying self.balance. So if the amount is greater than 0, that's got to be minus equal temp account. So we withdrew it. All right, now this is wrong. Okay, let's fix it. So so we'll also put in here temp balance equal, not there, the temp amount equals self.balance. So that is the balance. That's going to be amount. And that's going to be the balance. All right, so let's see. If the amount's greater than 0, this looks really ugly, so let's try to fix it. All right, if the amount is greater than 0, if the balance is greater than the amount, fix this in a minute here. Okay, then we want self.balance minus equal amount. And we can say, because it worked, so I don't even think we need these. If the amount that we're working with is greater than 0, and if the balance is greater than that amount, then we can subtract that from our balance. Okay. So let's grab these two. And say that we withdrew this. And what your updated balance is. Otherwise, okay, you have insufficient funds for the withdrawal. And if the amount was not greater than 0, we've already got here what the amount is. I did some repetitive stuff here, as you can see. There we go. Let's fix this. Now, if the amount is greater than 0, okay, if self.balance is greater than the amount, all right, then we can do this. Otherwise, you have insufficient funds to try to do that. This if goes with this else. Great. All right, let's look at this one more time. In here, what we're doing is we are basically filling up our object. When we deposit, we check, and if the amount that we're trying to deposit is positive, we add it to our balance. We show that we deposited that into that account number and what our updated balance is. If it's not greater than 0, we say that the deposit amount must be positive. For our withdrawal, you must input a positive number for withdrawing. So if it is positive, and if we've got more money than that in the account, then we withdraw it. We let them know that we withdrew it and what their balance is. Otherwise, we're trying to withdraw more money than we have in the account, so we say insufficient funds. If the original amount was not greater than 0, we print withdrawal amount must be positive. That should be everything. Should be. All right. I'm going to get a message here that I'm just about out of battery. So let me go and plug this in. There we go. Let's save it and run it, see if it works. So I'm saving that. I am saving that. And I am saving that. All right, so let's run it. All right, now it says invalid escape sequence, syntax warning, account line 29. Let's look at that quickly. I didn't put an N there. So file, save all here. Again, we'll keep main and we'll remove this and we'll remove this and we'll close this. Bring this up and it's clear and let's run it again. There it is. All right, we'll put in a 1. We're going to try to create a new account. Enter account number 100. First name, Jeff. Last name, Scott. Initial balance, $5,000. Okay, now give me an error. It says bank object has no attributes account. Did you mean account? So let's see if we did. Okay, I know what the error is, so that's in bank.py. And that looks like it's about line 10. That should be a little a. File, save all. Let's close this. And let's try running it again. All right, bring this up. There's not a lot in here of validation that was done. So 100, Jeff, Scott, $5,000. Still getting here, son of a gun. So let's see, what is that? That's in bank. And it's in line 10. That should be accounts. There's your error. Save all. Let's close this. I'm fairly certain now it's going to work. All right, let's run it again. 1. Account number 100. John Doe, $5,000. Okay, account successfully created for John Doe. And it stopped. Well, that wasn't good. It should have had this. That might say that in main, my while loop is wrong. Oh, well, I guess it would have been nice to put this entire thing here inside of a while true. Now I've got to take everything I've got here and tab it over once. That should fix that. Okay, file, save all. All right, let's run it. All right, so we've got a 1 here. This is 100. Jane Doe, and she's got $5,000. Okay, good. Account successfully created for Jane Doe. Good. 1. Mark. Oops, account number Mark. Well, that isn't good. That's good. That's what I wanted. So let me clear this. Try it again. That's why I said there's a minimum amount of validation in here. So I'm going to make it work. 1. 100. John Doe, $5,000. 1. 200. Jane Doe, $3,000. All right, if I display all the existing bank accounts, which is 5, I should get the 2 of them. Okay? Okay. Instead of display, I guess I didn't have the same names in here. Just one of those days, I guess. Let's bank. Get account. That should be display all accounts. That's the problem. Right there. So, file, save all. Get rid of that. Bring this up. Alrighty. Let's run the right file. Alright. 100. Mary Jones. She has $10,000. $10,000. Account successfully created for Mary Jones. 1. Mark. Okay, oh crap. Good God. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's just do a 6 here. Quitting, clear. Alright, last time. I'm running this and it's going to work. Alright, 1. 100. Brian Phelps. $5,000. 1. 200. Barb Jones. She's got $5,000. All right, now let's see if we can display all of them. Okay, so there's Brian Phelps, and there's Barb Jones. Did I put 5,000 in for each one of those? 5,000. 5,000. Okay. All right. Let's go in and query an existing account. So 4. Well, we've got 100 and 200. What if we put in 150? Sorry, that account does not exist. If we do a 4 and we put in 100, we get just the information for Brian Phelps. That's good. So 5 works, 4 works. Let's do number 3. Enter account number. What if we put in 150? Okay, we probably should have put an error in there, but it just didn't work. So 3, we're going to attempt to withdraw from 100. Let's attempt to withdraw $2,500. All right, and we've got an updated balance, but if you look in there, of course, something is wrong, but it did say withdrew from account number 100. That's good. All right, let's see if the other one works, if the deposit works. 2, account number 200, Let's put in $4,000. Well, it doesn't like this. All right, your updated balance, as you can see, it's screwed up. So the only thing we have to work on yet, the only thing we have to fix, in other words, the only thing in here that we have to fix is the way that this is printing out. Okay? So that is inside of our account. So let's look at that. That is where we are coming in and we are printing balance, self.balance. Your updated balance is self.balance %.2f, which I would have thought we didn't make it an F string, which means we probably didn't make the other one an F string either. Okay, so you can see the problem when you do that. All right, did I do that on purpose? Of course not. Check my time on this. Oh, all right, so let's do this. Last time, 100, Mary Johnson, and she has $3,500. All right, sorry that account already exists. Well, it kept it because I already had that up there before. All right, so let me put in a 6 here and run the program hopefully one last time. All right, so it's brand new. We're going to run main. 1, Grace, 100, Grace, Kelly, $5,000. 1, 200, Humphrey, Bogart. My wife was watching old movies today, and he'll have $2,000. All right, let's deposit into his. So he has 2,000. So into account 200, we'll deposit $10,000. And it says we now have 12,000. We had 2,000. We added 10,000. We now have 12,000. Looks good. All right, let's do a number 3, which is a withdrawal. We'll do it from 100. They had $5,000 in there. What if we put in $6,000? Insufficient funds for this withdrawal. It's doing what it should do. So let's put in another 3 for 100. And instead of 10,000, we'll withdraw $1,000. They had 5,000. We withdrew 100 or 1,000. Now they've got 4,000. Everything works. All right. Sorry, this was a little squirrely. I'm going to come back in just a few minutes, and when I do, I'm going to do another one of these, but I'm going to have inheritance. So I'm going to have not just a bank account and an account, but I'm going to have a checking account, a savings account, and a Christmas Club account. I'll be back with that shortly.